Good evening, folks. Smoky Side Gaming here. Um, First off, I need to apologize to those that are subscribed to my channel. I haven't posted anything in a while outside of that one video I made for Marshall for his birthday. I've been busy with school and everything. Oddly enough, I do have a life outside of the internet, um, so that's kind of been what's been going on with me. Um, However, today's video isn't quite like what you're used to seeing on my channel anyway. Um, I'm pretty sure that there's maybe a handful of gamers out there that that think that they are the absolute shit in everything that they do, and they feel that they feel the need to instruct and guide people trying to follow within that game, or people that aren't as good within that game. They try to instruct, guide, whatever it may be. And then there's the gamers out there that aren't really that great with games, and these quote unquote pros feel the need to say shit like, "You're not playing this game right." Sometimes I wonder what goes on through the minds of these people, because it does I don't understand how I'm not playing the game right, and I'm saying me specifically because I know that, and a lot of people out there know this as well. I'm not the best Smash player. I'm not the greatest Magic the Gathering player. Hell, I'm subpar when it comes to Pokemon. I can barely beat some of my best friends. That being said, that doesn't exactly give you the right to say that I'm not playing a game correctly. I'm pretty certain that as long as I meet the requirements set within that game or format, I'm playing the game right. Like, I have to wonder what goes on through the minds of these people. It bothers me when I hear somebody say like something like this to me or anybody else that's not as good at a game as these quote unquote pros. Because you get people out there that you have people out in the world that aren't as accepting of advice as the rest of the world, or they're not as accepting to criticism. They're not as accepting to whatever it may be. You don't have the right to just flat out tell someone that they're not playing a game correctly because they don't do what you do. Now, I'm not targeting anybody specifically in this video, but if you watch this video and you relate to it, and I believe, and trust me, you know who the hell you are. Please know that shit like this is discouraging. It's belittling. It's very, very condescending. Yes, you may be good at what you do. That doesn't give you the right to tell someone that they're not playing a game correctly, or they need to get good or go home. Terms like that, phrases like that, they get under my skin so much, especially when I hear that said to either someone that I'm close to that I know is not good at a certain game, or someone that I see is struggling and trying their best. Me included. I do my best in Pokemon, I do my best in Magic with what I'm given. I do my best in Smash Brothers, and hell, I'm still learning. I can admit to that at the end of the day that I'm not good. I am, and even in Magic the Gathering, I am the scrubbiest of scrub lords. I can admit that. However, you don't have the right to just go to flat out tell someone that they're not playing a certain game correctly because they don't follow your way of playing it. oh, you're not running quote so so card in your decks. So I'm pretty certain that if I meet the deck requirements in a Magic the Gathering game, it's because in certain formats you're allowed to have a certain amount of cards in your deck. I'm certain if I meet that requirement and follow the rules of said format, I'm playing the game correctly. Oh, you're not doing this at this specific time in Smash Brothers. You're not playing it correctly. I'm pretty certain that the rules for this match called for two stock, no items, 3 minute matches, no 5 minutes, 5 minute matches, Omega stage. As long as I meet the requirements of that match, I'm playing the game correctly because there's no specific. I really, what bothers me about shit like this is that people literally that say this shit literally think that there's a science to it. There's a mathematical equation to everything that has to be done in order to play this game correctly, in order to get good at this game. Yes, I realize that certain people play certain games a certain way, and it works for them. Not everything works for everyone. You don't have the right to force your opinions down someone's throat because they're not playing the game the way you want them to. Ugh. Now, all that being said, yes, there are certain ways to do a certain thing, and you should. And general common sense would state that you should play this card or do this action at this said time. What if I don't want to? What if I feel a reason? What if I see a need to play this card at this time, or I see a need to do this action at another time? Um, I'm pretty certain that there's a handful of gamers out there that agree with me when I say that this is a form of bullying and its lowest form, but it's still a form of bullying because you're forcing an opinion down someone's throat that doesn't want it. They just want to play the game. They want to be able to do what they want to do in the game. Yes, they may not win all the time. They may not be the best. That doesn't give you the right to just force your instructions, force your opinions, force anything that may condescend them or discourage them from even picking up a controller or picking up a deck again. And this doesn't just apply to games like Magic the Gathering, Smash Brothers, Pokemon. It applies to all concepts. First-person shooters, fighting games, action games, any trading card game out there. Force of Will, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon the TCG. Any game out there, you're going to find people like that. Now, the way I see it, you can either deal with shit like this two ways. Actually, three ways. One, you can ignore them and just keep doing what you want to do. However, that will in turn just push more pressure onto you because they feel that, oh, you're not doing this correctly. Why aren't you following my instructions? So honestly, I honestly feel that that's out of the window. Secondly, you can fight back and say, hey, I'm going to do this at this time, and you can sit there and deal. It's honestly not that hard to stand up for yourself. However, you're going to get, you're going to get return fire because you're not exactly, while you may not be the best at this game, you're not exactly proficient enough to say, hey, I can do this at this time. Hey, I can do that at that time. Now, like I said, you can fight back and say what you need to say your piece, but it's not going. Sometimes that's not going to help. And lastly, you can just sit there and swallow the advice, follow it as best as you can, and hell, you may not even get to that point where you can follow their advice to the number, but if anything, you'll get better. But it usually that will result in you feeling like you've lost the battle. And I really hate it when people have to feel like that, especially around their friends. it bothers me to no extent to hear shit like this because it's just really, really discouraging. And me, honestly, when I hear something like this, I'm really tempted to just give up the game altogether. Because, quite honest, as a college student, I hear shit like this every day I go into the student center. Every day that I go into a Smash Brothers match with my friends at school. Every time I get into a Magic the Gathering match with my friends at school, I hear shit like this on a constant basis. I do what I can to improve with what I'm given. I do what I can to improve with the resources I have. Yet, get good or go home. You're not doing this right. That's all I hear. In conclusion, I think that this just really needs to stop. You can't just force your opinions. You can't force an opinion onto someone because they don't follow your view. They don't follow your instructions. You can't force your instructions onto someone because they feel or because you feel that they need to do what you do to get to be the best at the game. And quite honestly, when I hear people say, "Oh, I'm the best," they really aren't. Yeah, there are people that have been playing Magic the Gathering for years. There are people that have been playing Smash Brothers longer than I have, especially on a competitive level. But in all honesty, you pit them up against someone that's been playing the game a lot longer, and they get decimated. They're just sitting there like, "Why did that happen?" And I'm just like, "Hmm, maybe you're not the greatest. Maybe you're not so great. You're not as great as you thought you were." Oy. I'm sorry about that whole rant thing. I was probably all over the place with that video, and I apologize. That being said, if you have any opinions, any comments on what you have on anything that was stated in this video, leave them down in the comment sections below, and I'll do my best to reply as best as I can. As I am a college student, I do have a life. Now, like I said, any opinions, comments, anything, leave them down in the comment section below. Destroy that like button, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This is Smoky Side Gaming, signing out.